Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode about the movies with William Fletcher. As per usual, I am your host, William Fletcher, and today's episode, is me covering the BAFTA nominations. And when I say BAFTA nominations, I of course don't mean every BAFTA nomination, because there's a lot, and I'm not going to be going through every category. I'm just going to be sort of talking about the major categories, so that is best film, director, the acting categories, the screenplay categories, and I'll touch on animated and best film not in the English language, because those are the ones that are really, really important. I'm just looking at the other categories right now before I get to those to see if there is anything major. Like the short films, we don't really care about. So I'm just going to sort of give my thoughts on the nominations and sort of what I sort of predict as well will win. So we've got the EE Rising Star. So that's basically just like the best up and comer. So it's between Ariana DeBose, Harris Dickinson, Lashana Lynch, Millicent Simmons, and Cody Smith McPhee. This is the only category that's voted on by the general public. So it won't be voted on by it. So I'm just going to say Ariana DeBose, but it's probably between her and Cody Smith McPhee. I personally will give it to DeBose, so that's what I'm going to go with. Then best short film, best animated short. I don't know any of these, so I can't really give an opinion on those. Then outstanding debut by a British writer, director, producer. The only one of those I've seen is The Harder They Fall, so that's sort of by definition has to be my decision. Although Passing, I will plan on watch because I know it's very good. Then we've got outstanding British film. My personal favourite of those was Last Night in Soho. I don't think it will win. It'll probably go to Belfast. But I would love it if they gave it to Last Night in Soho, because it's Edgar Wright, and I love Edgar Wright, as you all know, as I've covered him in the past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my predicted winners for the nominees, and then for the big major categories I'll just sort of go a little more in depth with the nominations and any big snubs and that. So best special visual effects is going to go to Dune. It is Dune until otherwise. Anything else happens between now and the Oscars, I will be surprised if it's not Dune. I also think Dune will also be winning the sound category. Again, I'd be surprised if anything else major happens between now and the Oscars. We've got production design and a best original score. I'm giving these to Dune because I just really can't see anything else winning. I mean, Power of the Dog potentially for John E. Greenwood, but I mean, it's Hans Zimmer for Dune for original score, and I would be genuinely surprised if anything else happened. And I mean, production design potentially could be West Side Story or French Dispatch, but Dune, I'm gonna just go with Dune because it just is the right. Is like the smarter choice to just go for Dune. Then we've got best makeup and hairstyling. I mean, I could go for Dune, and I think it probably could go to Dune, but I'm actually going to go Issa Tammy Faye. I think they did a hell of a lot of work on Jessica Chastain, which is very, very well done. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. And I do think the film should be recognized for something, because I don't think it's going to get recognized for anything else at the Oscars. But so I'm going to go Issa Tammy Faye, but I think Dune is probably closer to getting I got a better shot of actually winning. They've got best editing. I'm not too sure on this category. I'm going to go for Belfast, as I think it's probably as it's winning best British films. So I sort of assume it'll probably get best editing, but I'm not entirely sure. Potentially Dune, but I don't think that's as massively likely. Best costume design, I'm just gonna go with Dune again because it's Dune, and Dune is winning. I legit think Dune will be winning 5 or 6 Oscars because it's mental. And then best cinematography, I don't know. Could be Power of the Dog or could be Dune. Yeah, they've got best casting. I think it's probably between West Side Story and King Richard. I'm gonna go West Side Story, as there's more cast, if that makes sense. There's just more people to cast, and considering Ariana DeBose is a big deal for supporting actress, I would not be surprised. Then now we've got best film not in the English language. So now here are like the major categories. Actually, I'll just do best documentary. I haven't seen any of these, but I'm gonna just say Flea because I don't know. I really don't know. It could. I really don't know. And now for the rest of these categories, I'm gonna go a little more in depth with the nominees, my opinions, what I think will win, what I think should win, because I've seen more of these, and these. So best film not in the English language. I haven't seen any of these. But Drive My Car is going to be my predicted winner. It is getting a lot of love from everywhere. It's the closest, I think, for at the Oscars to get into Best Picture. I think I've heard it's very good. However, I've also heard Parallel Mothers, Petite Maman, and The Worst Person in the World are also really, really good. And Hand of God, I think I've heard about a little bit. I think it's gonna be Drive My Car. I think that's what they will give it to, and I haven't seen any of them, so I can't give my opinion on what it should be, because I haven't seen any of them. Then best animated film, I have seen. So there's 4 nominees, unlike the Oscars, which does 5: Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells vs. the Machines. I've only seen Luca and Encanto of these 2, and Luca I recently rewatched Encanto, as I talked about on what I watched this month for January. I think it's a really, really great film. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Got better the second time I rewatched it, and I haven't rewatched Luca in a while, but I'm not sure I really want to, because I'm not like it's like a good Pixar movie, but like so many of them are like great that when you just get like a good one, it kind of feels a bit less than. I do plan on watching Flea and The Mitchells vs. the Machines soon, because Flea I've been really wanting to watch ever since I heard about it and heard what the plot's about and how it's an animated foreign language documentary. Like, that's just mental. And I do plan to watch it, but my pick is Encanto, and my personal choice would be Encanto, although Flea or Mitchells could overtake that spot. I'm going to do adapted screenplay first. So we've got Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, and The Power of the Dog. I have a very good feeling this could be the Oscars 5. I'm just looking at, although I think there's a possibility the Oscars could potentially give it to The Tragedy of Macbeth instead of The Lost Daughter. I also think West Side Story could get in, and maybe knock out Drive My Car. Because I think The Power of the Dog, Dune, and Coda will all be getting in at the Oscars. And of the 3 I've seen, Coda would be my personal choice to win. I thought it was an absolutely fantastic film, incredibly well written, great characters, great character drama that I bought, and I just was like, what? And that was really, really great. But I think they're probably going to give it to The Power of the Dog. I think, sort of spoiler alert, I think Power of the Dog will be winning Best Film, and is the big frontrunner to win at the Oscars for Best Picture. So I think it makes sense at the current time to have the Screenplay Award and the Best Film Award line up, as quite most of the time they usually run. Not all the time, of course, but they out of most times they do line up. So I'm gonna predict Power of the Dog to win, but my personal choice would be Coda. And then we've got Best Original Screenplay. We've got With Being the Ricardos by Aaron Sorkin, Belfast from Kenneth Branagh, Don't Look Up, Adam McKay, King Richard, Zach Baylin, and Licorice Pizza, Paul Thomas Anderson. I've seen 4 of these. I have not seen Licorice Pizza as of yet. My personal choice would be King Richard, because it's the only one of those I actually really liked. I thought Being the Ricardos and Don't Look Up were decent films, and Belfast I was not too bothered by. But there's a very good possibility, of course, that Licorice Pizza could jump above that when I eventually get around to watching it. However, I don't think King Richard will win. I think that'll probably be going to Belfast, which I don't really think is deserved. I think Belfast is a fine film. It's a perfectly fine written film. It's not amazing or anything. But I also think there's a possibility that maybe Sorkin could get in. But I'm going to go with Belfast as a predicted winner and King Richard as my personal choice to win. We've got Supporting Actress. We've got Katrina Balfe in Belfast, Jessie Buckley in The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose, West Side Story, and Doubted Mass. Ingenue Ellis in King Richard, and Ruth Negga in Passing. So I'm going to make a quick point about these categories. So the acting categories and the director categories were voted on by a jury, which basically means, so it was a jury of around 12 people, and basically they vote. So there were the long lists which came out, which were all the potential people they could vote for, and then they sort of voted. So there was like preliminary voting for the jury, and then there was more voting. So I think they did like a preliminary round with like the top two, with like the two who got the most votes getting through, and then they sort of worked through that. So there's a very good chance that I think there is definitely going to be some crossover with this and the Oscars, and I think some of these are kind of like a no-brainers to get in for the Oscars. But of course, not all of this necessarily means anything, because it's kind of like looking at, if you look at last year's nominees, half of like there are only like a couple in each category that actually got nominated for the Oscars. So I definitely think it is important to note that this doesn't necessarily mean everything, as we will see with one of the upcoming categories. So I have seen 4 of these performances: Katrina Balfe in Belfast, Ariana DeBose West Side Story, and Down in Mass and Ingenue Ellis in King Richard. So, and I think 4 of these 6 will get nominated. I think it's going to be Katrina Balfe, Ariana DeBose, Ingenue Ellis, and Ruth Negga. The surprise miss, which I was not expecting, which I didn't realize until this morning actually, because I watched the nominations like as they were airing, which was like about 11 o'clock. Actually, 10 o'clock it was 10 o'clock. Yeah, like 10 p.m. And this morning I was sort of thinking about it, and I was like looking about what are people saying, and I didn't realize that Kirsten Dunst was snubbed, but I think Kirsten Dunst will be the 5th nominee at the Oscars. I think this is actually a pretty solid list besides the whole Kirsten Dunst snub. So yeah, I think Katrina Balfe, Ariana DeBose, Ariana DeBose, Ingenue Ellis, and Ruth Negga will all be getting nominated for the Oscar. Of these nominees, I'd probably give it to Ariana DeBose, but I also wouldn't. I don't know, because as I mentioned before, I didn't really care for Belfast, so I didn't really care for any of the performances in it. I have not seen Passing yet, or The Lost Daughter, as I mentioned. Ingenue Ellis was really good in King Richard, and Dad was quite good. Although I personally would, if I was the awards bodies, I would be nominating Martha Plimpton and Jason Isaacs above her. And I think of these, Ariana DeBose is probably my favorite of these performances. I thought she was really good, probably the best performance, although I will say Rachel Zegler was also quite good. So my pick to win, my prediction rather, would be Ariana DeBose, but my personal pick, I'd probably say Ariana DeBose as well. I think she's my predicted winner, and she's my pick to win. But I would love if either Ingenue Ellis or Aunt Dad won, because I thought they are both very, very good and well deserved winners. And this is the biggest love Mass has gotten in ages, and it sucks because I talked about Mass in what I watched this month, January. Mass is amazing. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's amazing. Jason Isaacs, I'm gonna just keep saying this. Jason Isaacs should be winning for Best Supporting Actress, and Martha Plimpton should be getting nominated for Best Actress, okay? And they're not going to. And that sucks so much. It legitimately sucks. Because I honestly, sorry, it's always annoying and upsetting when your favorites and the people you want to get nominated don't get in. It just sucks. Also, Molly Matlin missed, which is a massive shame because she was also really good. But yeah, it was a shame Molly Matlin missed. Jason Isaacs should be winning supporting actor, and Yeah, and they, to be fair, Bleecker Street did kind of screw Mass when they put both Ann Dowd and Martha Plimpton in supporting actress. Like, no, Martha Plimpton is lead actor. Is the lead in that film. She's the lead actress. Sorry. Now moving on to Best Actor in a Supporting Role. Mike Feist in West Side Story, Kieran Hines in Belfast, Troy Kotzer in Coda, Woody Norman in Come On, Come On, which was a nice surprise. Although I haven't seen it, it's nice to see child performances getting recognition. Jesse Plemons in The Power of the Dog and Cody Smith McPhee in The Power of the Dog. Yeah, I think four of these six are. I think three of these six are guaranteed to get nominations. That's Kieran Hines, Troy Kotzer, Cody Smith McPhee, who's going to win, and I'm going to stick with Cody Smith McPhee to win supporting actor, unless something changes, unless something happens at the SAGs and the Critics' Choice and the eventual BAFTAs. But I think Kieran Hines and Troy Kotzer are going to be nominated alongside him. And my other two predicted nominees, I think the Oscars are going to go for Jared Leto. And I haven't seen House of Gucci, but I do have it on good authority. He's not good and doesn't deserve to be nominated. He's just doing that stereotypical Italiano accent. Yeah. And to be fair, I'm not entirely sure on who that fifth slot is. It could be Bradley Cooper in Licorice Pizza, but I've put down Mike Feist in West Side Story because I think he could be getting a late resurgence. He peaked, like, he sort of wasn't really a thing early on, and now he's peaking and getting this, like, what he deserves and getting in. But I think he could get in. Jesse Plemons getting in is really strange, but again, because the jury system, I can't really take this too seriously because it's not. But Woody Norman in Come On, Come On. I have not seen Come On, Come On. I know it's quite good. Joaquin Phoenix is very good in it. No lead acting on for Joaquin Phoenix, which is a bit surprising. But yeah, so I'm predicting Mike Feist as the fifth slot for the Oscars, and I think Cody Smith McPhee is gonna win as is like my predicted winner, but I think Troy Kotzer should win. I mean, to be fair, I think fucking Jason Isaacs should win, but he's not even getting nominated, so there's like no point in wishing on that. But Troy Kotzer would of these choices would be my personal pick to win. I think he should win. I think he gave of the nominees the best performance. But I think it's going to go to Cody Smith McPhee, which is, like, it's not like it's a bad performance for Smith McPhee. I just personally preferred Troy Kotzer. Now, we've got Best Actress, which is fair to say was a complete shit show. Of the potential Oscar 5 that I've predicted, one person was nominated at the BAFTA, and that was Lady Gaga in House of Gucci. So at this rate, Lady Gaga is going to be nominated for House of Gucci. That is what is happening right now. She is the only, she hasn't missed anywhere. She hasn't missed SAG, Critics' Choice, BAFTA, Golden Globes, nothing. She is getting the Oscar nomination. And the other five nominees, Alana Haim, Licorice Pizza, Amelia Jones in Coda, which is fucking mint, and she should be nominated, and she should be winning, but she's not going to. Renate Recife, the worst person in the world. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm so sorry for that butcher. Joanna Scanlon, After Love, and Tessa Thompson, Passing. I've seen one of these, so my automatic choice has to be Amelia Jones for Coda. But they snubbed the big five. So before this, my predicted five for the Oscar were Nicole Kidman in Being the Ricardos, Lady Gaga, House of Gucci, Olivia Colman, The Lost Daughter, Jessica Chastain, The Earth of Tammy Faye, and Kristen Stewart in Spencer. Now, I don't know. Because Lady Gaga is going to be Oscar nominated. She has not missed a single thing at this point, so she will be getting nominated. But I don't think she will be winning. And I really don't know, because at this rate, I think Nicole Kidman is the front runner to win the Oscar, which I personally think would suck. Like, she's not bad in the film at all. She's perfectly decent, but I don't want her winning, because I don't think the performance is good enough for her to, like, sorry. So, I'm gonna go with Lady Gaga to win, because she's the only person who has gotten in everywhere, and it would be weird if she didn't win here. And my personal choice would be Emilia Jones in Coda, as that's the only one I've seen, so I have to say it's my favourite and my pick to win, my personal choice of winner, because it's the only one I've seen. And for actress, for the Oscars, my predictions: Nicole Kidman, being the Ricardos, Lady Gaga, Hazel Cucci, Olivia Colman, Lost Daughter, just in the September, and I'm really not sure, because Kristen Stewart missed in Spencer, and that is a big thing. She missed out at the SAGs, and now she's missed out here at the BAFTA. But I will say there is a potential part. That like a member of the royal family is like one of the head people at BAFTA, and maybe like told the people of the jury, like, don't vote for Kristen Stewart. Like that could be a possibility. But I don't know if Kristen Stewart can get the Oscar nomination anymore. That's really strange. And to be fair, this was always like a sort of thought in my mind of like, oh, maybe Kristen Stewart doesn't get in at BAFTA because she's playing Princess Diana. But it just is, and I haven't seen Spencer yet, so I'm not. It's weird. Now, Best Actor, equally as screwed up. Adil Akhtar in Ali and Eva as Ali, Mahershala Ali in Swan Song, Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog, Leonardo DiCaprio in Don't Look Up, Stephen Graham in Boiling Point, and Will Smith in King Richard. So this, again, a bit screwed, considering they have just snubbed, like, the other three I had predicted. I had predicted Denzel Washington for Tragedy of Macbeth, Andrew Garfield, Tick Tick Boom, and Peter Dinklage in Cyrano, along with Will Smith and Benedict Cumberbatch. And I still think that Denzel and Garfield could still get in at the Oscar, considering BAFTA just always snubs Denzel. Like apparently he's been snubbed like every year, like pretty much all the time. So that's fair enough, I guess. And I think Andrew Garfield still has a very, very good shot of getting in at the Oscar. But now I'm not so sure who number 5 will be. I'm gonna stick with Peter Dinklage in Cyrano. But I really have, like, no clue what else it could be. Like, it's kind of like, I don't really know, but Will Smith and Benedict Cumberbatch are locks, and I think Will Smith will be winning. I think Will Smith and Benedict Cumberbatch are going to go like the two front runners, and unless like Benedict wins at like the SAG or Critics' Choice, I think Will Smith is going to like run the entire way with this. I think Will Smith is winning the Oscar, and of the nominees I've seen, he is my personal pick to win. I don't think he can lose at this point. And of these nominees that I have seen, I would definitely give it to Will Smith. He's my predicted winner, and he's also my personal choice. He's not who I want to win the Oscar. Like, it's a really great performance, but I would like Andrew Garfield in Tick Tick Boom. Thanks. But he's not winning the Oscar, is he? Andrew Garfield is not going to get, the win that he should be getting because, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Will Smith to win as, my predicted winner, as well as my choice to win of those nominees. Now we're on to Best Director. Paul Thomas Anderson. This is also voted on by the jury, so again, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. I've got the nominees are Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Jane Campion, The Power of the Dog, Audrey Diwan, Happening, Julia Ducournau, Titan, Ryusuke Hamaguchi, Drive My Car, and Aline Khan, After Love. So, no Spielberg, no Branagh, no Villeneuve. Those are the three main snubs. Of those, I've seen Titan and Power of the Dog. I think Jane Campion is winning. I think she's winning picture. I think at this point she's got such momentum behind him after winning the Globe, and I think she's definitely winning Critics' Choice, and I'd be surprised if she didn't win there. I think at this rate, Power of the Dog is the big, at this point, unless things change, which is entirely possible, I think Jane Campion is winning for Best Director, and I think she's my predicted winner, and she's my personal choice as well. As I think I've talked about in the past, I didn't really care for Titan. I really didn't. I thought it was a bit shite. I don't understand people raving about it. It's just French violence. Legitimately, that is all it is. French violence. It's just it's French horror, but shite. It's not Titan isn't a really great film. I seriously don't get why people are like, oh, Titan is amazing, because it's no, it isn't. It is. It's barely good. Honestly, I know that's just gonna upset people, but I don't care for it. I think it's shite, and I think it's completely overrated. And on these director nominees, I think Jane Campion and Paul Thomas Anderson will be getting in at the Oscars. I think the other three will be Spielberg for West Side Story, Villeneuve for Dune, and Branagh for Belfast. Although Belfast is dropping a little bit, I don't know if it could get director. But I guess we will have to see in a few days when the Oscar nominations come out. And then we've got Best Film. The nominees are Belfast, Don't Look Up, Dune, Licorice Pizza, and The Power of the Dog. So I've seen 4 out of 5. I haven't seen Licorice Pizza, and the only one of these, I think Power of the Dog's probably my favorite of these, but I don't know, I didn't really think Belfast was amazing. I thought Don't Look Up was perfectly enjoyable. Dune was decent, not amazing. I think people calling it a masterpiece of mental. And The Power of the Dog is a good movie. So I'm gonna go with The Power of the Dog. It's decent. Power of the Dog is a decent film. Is a relatively good film comparatively. But I just don't think it's amazing. But I think all 5. My predicted winner will be Power of the Dog, and my personal choice would be Power of the Dog as well. I think all 5 of these films will be getting nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, along with King Richard, Coda, The Tragedy of Macbeth, West Side Story, and Tick Tick Boom. I think those will be the 10, as the Oscars have expanded the number of nominees for Best Picture to 10. And yeah, so I think these 5 will all be getting in there, potentially. I think, I will say Belfast, Dune, Licorice Pizza, Power of the Dog are all locks to get in. Don't Look Up is number 8, 9, or 10, so it could potentially be knocked out by maybe Drive My Car if the Oscars really love it. So I'm gonna say yeah, and so that's sort of what I think, but I definitely think they will all be getting nominated for the Oscars. Speaking of the Oscars, that will be the nominations will be occurring next week on the, like the, well, it says the 8th, but the episode will come out on the 9th of February. So yeah, the 8th of February. But I will be giving my reactions, talking about them the next day, the day after, on the 9th. And on Monday, I'm gonna be having another episode of my lists, which I like doing. And I hope you guys listening enjoy this as well. Then yeah, Valentine's special. Then at the end of the month, on the 28th, the final episode of the month will be the SAG Awards, where I will give my reactions to the SAG Awards. Then in March, at the end of March, the last 2 weeks of March will be the Oscars. My review of the Best Picture nominees, which I will be doing on a proper episode, and then the week after will be the reactions to the Oscars. So yeah, that's sort of how the awards start. I might do a thing looking at the BAFTA, the winners at BAFTA, and Critics' Choice as well, potentially. I'm not entirely sure yet. But yeah, so thank you all for listening to today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. It was a bit of a long one, but I know I got a bit angry and a bit annoyed at places, but I just backed it. It's just annoying when your favorites don't get the nominations. But yeah, so that is all for this week's episode. Well, today's episode, rather. I hope you will enjoy listening to it. Check out all my other previous episodes, and I look forward to my upcoming episodes. I've got some really good stuff planned, especially for the Valentine's Day special in a couple weeks, which should be lots of fun. So yeah, thanks guys for listening to this one, and I will see all of you in the next one. Goodbye.